Hey guys, today we're going to go over some level 2 core strengthening exercises. If you haven't done level 1 exercises or don't feel comfortable moving on yet, I would not start level 2. These are a little bit more challenging. If you have a diastasis recti, you'll want to really make sure that your abdominal contents stay flat, that they don't bulge out through your diastasis recti with these exercises. But for everybody else that's ready to move on and learn level 2, here we go. So find a place on your floor. Okay, I would just warm up a little bit with some of the level 1 or one of the level 1 exercises before we get started. So let's lift both our legs up here, arms straight. We're going to kick one leg out, raise our arms overhead. So this whole time our tummies are pulling toward our spine and our low back is staying flat into the floor. Okay, if you want to make this harder, hold a weight between your hands. Okay, that'll make it a little bit harder. So you're going to do this one for a minute just to get those lower abs warmed up. Okay, the second one from there that we're going to do is working the obliques a little bit. Okay, so our legs are going to come up, tip off to the side, and then so my legs are tipping to the left. My left hand is going to reach across my body to the right. Okay, so I'm crunching up and to the right side. So I'm really getting some work of my external obliques on the left side and my internal obliques on the right side. So I usually have people do about 20 of these on each side. If it's too much for you to hold your feet up, go ahead and put your feet on the floor and just tip your legs as you crunch. Okay? So 20 of those on each side, 2 sets. Okay? The next one that we're going to do is a sit-up. Okay? Always, if you have a diastasis recti, have somebody watch you and make sure that you're not bulging through the middle of your belly as you do this. Okay? But your arms are going to come up over your head. This is the easiest version of it. So as we sit up, bellies pull toward our spine and we're going to exhale through our mouth. Okay? So from here, I lift up, exhale and pull to my spine, and then come back down. Exhale, and come back down. Okay? Putting a weight in your hand actually makes that exercise easier because the weight helps pull you forward and pull you up. When you drop the weight, it gets harder. When you bend the knees, it's even harder yet. Okay, so if you're ready for more of a challenge, try bending your knees and don't put your hands over your head and throw them forward. Maybe just reach them here. Belly pulls to spine. Exhale, lift up, and slowly come back down. Okay, so the whole time my tummy is pulling in toward my spine, it's not pushing out. Okay, I'm always pulling my tummy in. From there, we're going to bring our legs up towards the ceiling. We're going to scoop them in and up, okay? So for this one, pay attention to your pelvic floor. You don't want to feel any extra pressure going down in your pelvic floor, okay? Sometimes as people lift up, the pressure on their pelvic floor goes down. If that happens, you need to fix your form. So you probably need to exhale as you're lifting, which I always recommend anyway. And then you really need to figure out how to scoop those lower abdominals in and up, okay? Like this. If you want to make it harder, you take your hands away. I'm not quite advanced enough to be able to do that yet, okay? The next one would be a side plank. So laying on your side, knees on the floor, elbow on the floor. You're going to go ahead and lift up your hips, okay? So first level of difficulty is that you can just hold this, okay? So I might have people hold for 20 or 30 seconds the first time they're doing this. If you want to add a level of challenge, you raise your top leg up and down. Now you're really working more of the bottom hip than you are the top hip, okay? So as I'm raising up and down, I'm going to feel this more in my bottom hip than I do in my top hip. And I just want to make sure I'm not rolling forward and back as that leg comes up. Okay, So you can either hold for 30 seconds or do 10 leg raises while you're in that position. The next one would be a plank on your knees and your hands. So for this one, I typically have people tuck their butt just to make sure the lower abs are engaged, okay? Then we're gonna drop the hips forward. Feet can either come up or feet can stay down. So you can either hold this position here, okay? 20, 30 seconds, and I would do a couple of sets, okay? If you wanna make it more challenging, you're gonna try to raise one arm at a time without moving your body very much. So a lot of people, when they raise their arm, their body kind of sways with them. You just want to make sure that body stays still. To make that even harder, you narrow your base of support and bring your feet together, okay? So those are some level 2 core strengthening exercises. I typically take people up to like what I call a level 4, so you're halfway there. These exercises might take you a week or two to really master before you move on to the next level. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them down below.